Countdown is underway. Have funds have been called.
3, 2, 1, fight.
And here we go. Fight underway, and Mega is taken by Dan, not by Mr. Green. Mr. Green, though, is going to retaliate, though, with some good rockets and ion. And we are going to see Mr. Green taking the first red of the game, though. Beautiful surfing there coming out of Dan, and they are looking for the trades. Each player knows, well, actually, no, Mr. Green lost track of Dan. Dan deciding not to maintain pressure there, looking for that bolt. Dan is able to get a hold of the bolt, but he is very low right now. No armor, just his health. Mr. Green, though, a little bit less health, at least has a little bit of armor. But Dan is there. Mr. Green picking up the red, Dan picking up the Mega and the blue, ever. And this is going to be an incredibly tense game number 3. Really hope I don't lose my voice. So we're going to see the Mega going the way of Mr. Green once again. Or actually, this time, because the first one went to Dan, and now we're going to see him taking both, so he's a very, very solid stack. However, Dan sitting on a fairly decent one as well. Mr. Green looking for something is the question. What? And Dan, he sees him, doesn't want to go for him directly. Going to come across, though, try and get a little bit more armor, work on feeling a little more comfortable. Is going to get bolted there. Going to start feeling a little bit lower, a little bit more uncomfortable, but he is going to start applying pressure, and he is going to get a hold of that red armor first, and then just fly right on through. And now we are going to see him come up and wait, get a hold of that blue right as it spawns, and apply some pressure here onto Dan. Get a nice little juggle there on Dan as well. Dan is trying to get out of dodge, makes it through the telly, and actually goes the other direction. Mr. Green makes the wrong guess, and the dodge is real. Dan making it out of there, has the better stack right now with that armor. Mr. Green, though, trying to play aggressive, able to get a hold of that red armor, though, by pushing him out of red room. And I was trying to read chat and watch the game. Can't do both, so we're going to go back to trying to watch the game for right now. 7:45 remaining for their winner's bracket hopes. They will fall down fairly far along in the loser's bracket, but they will still have to grind back up through the loser's bracket if they do lose here. Green and Dan, I mean, this is just such an even game right now, and I'm loving it. Mr. Green getting caught out just a little bit, but is able to get away, though, and is able to get a hold of that Mega. Dan deciding to back off, though, after that early aggression in that fight, and Mr. Green trying to go in there. Mr. Green is able to take a hold of that red armor, and is looking for more. Eats a rocket to the face, though, and Dims come out the other side, and immediately take that yellow that is so conveniently placed by that teleporter. And I come across, try and hit a rocket, not able to make it. Walking with the bolt. Some very good bolt lanes on this map, and he is just looking for blood. Not quite able to make that jump. Is going to come up, though. Oh, gets bolted, though, in the process. It's okay, though. There's red armor right there as it's spawning, so that's good for him. Mega health is spawning in 5. They both know that. They both want that, and they are close. Neither member wants to take too much splash damage, though, from themselves, so they're being very careful with their rockets. Gonna see Mr. Green getting a hold of Mega once again. Very, very full stack there. Mr. Green, though, able to do a decent amount of damage there to Mr. Green. And Dan, beautiful movement there, almost like artistry. Just able to get through some of these points. Mr. Green, though, such powerful control over these major, or at least thinks he does miss the opportunity, though. Coming across, trying to find the best engagement here. So many crossroads over this tournament so far, and it's very interesting to see how the players are trying to play it as well. So Mr. Green, in a awkward position, is definitely not out of this in terms of this initial fight. 10 armor, 60 health, is boltable, but so is Dan. Dan is on almost no health and lots of armor. There we go, Mr. Green able to get a hold of that red and is now going to fly right through the map. I'm going to try and find some more. 6 seconds until Mega. However, Dan's sitting on 27 HP after picking up a 25 health pack. So, we keep watching Mr. Green, though, because he is where the aggression has lied. Mr. Green is going to come around after being forced away, and is going to still maintain that lead. 130 health, 150 yellow armor. 4.5 minutes remaining. We have gone past the halfway point, and these players have been doing such a beautiful job of trying to maintain only fights that they want. But when each player is able to do exactly that, where say, no, I don't want to take this fight, well, neither do I, you see a lot of these hit and runs where they hit each other and then run away. It's sort of a poke fest, as we like to call it in the MOBA community. So we will be seeing Mr. Green taking away that red armor and looking for him, but no, Dan is going to be going off the far left side instead. Can he find him? Oh, it's a rocket to the face. Eats two. Out of armor is Mr. Green. Dan sitting very pretty right now, but Mr. Green is getting very aggressive. Catches him with one rocket. Misses the bolt. Can he hit any more? Nope. Did, once again, misjudging. Dan seems to be going left a little bit more than right. And Mr. Green's screen, at least, Mr. Green is able to get a hold of that red armor, but then gets caught in the face by a rocket now. 77 HP, 125 armor. Gets right behind Jando. This could be first blood right here. He's going really, really deep and is able to... No, he gets the mega and immediately loses it. And there we go. He does fall there. First kill going the way of Mr. Green with 3.5 minutes remaining. Is he able to... No! He's going to shoot a rocket. Is going to miss. Is expecting to see it. Is able to get a hold of that mega though, and is going to come down, is going to be forced away from that red armor, which he does give up there to Mr. Green. Mr. Green having a slightly better armor stack, but definitely has the worst health stack. Should make that the better armor stack, period, as Dan has now lost all of his armor, except for the 100 yellow he just picked up. Now we're 2.5 minutes remaining. Anybody's game. This will go into overtime. Overtimes are 2 minutes if the match is tied. And that would be insane, and my heart might give out, so maybe not the best thing. So, beautiful defensive footwork here coming out from both players here. Not wanting to take a fight, but I think Mr. Green wants to take one here, though. Dan is backing off just a little bit, trying to get back up behind. No! Mr. Green catches him from the other angle, the option he didn't check, and Mr. Green now has his second lead of the game here as he gets one more bolt. Can he hit him with the ion? Not quite. Can he get up? And it could be the beginning of the end for Dan. Mr. Green gets the juggle, gets the rockets. Can he keep it up? There's the shotgun as well. We do see Dan doing a beautiful job of maintaining his movement, though, but Mr. Green is not letting him get away, and that is going to be one more kill. Now 4-1 in his favor. 90 seconds remaining, though. If it misses the bolt, is going to dodge away. Getting pressured, though, by Dan. Needs to get out of there as he is low on health, and he knows it. Red armor is up. He knows he can take the fight. Gets the juggle. Gets the kill. Now 5-1 in favor of Mr. Green. Backing off because he's a little bit low and because he thinks he has a better shot up close. He gets taken out. He blows. Oh, they both blow. Both are blown up by Dan. There we go. Had to read the kill feed for a second. Make some sense of it. So Dan gets a kill, loses the kill immediately. Resets everything, really, which is relatively nice. But he's behind by 4 kills and only has a minute to do anything about it. Dan is in the lava. He goes down. Mr. Green gets one more kill, now ahead by 5. 6-1 in his favor. Getting juggled, though. Can he do anything about it? Gets back around, going back into the aggression, though he wants to keep pressing this lead. And he is going to do exactly that. And a bolt rifle does connect there from Mr. Green onto Dan. 7-1 now, 35 seconds remaining. This was an incredibly close and an incredibly good game. 7-1, maybe 7-2, maybe 8-1. Not quite sure just yet. Looking more and more like we are going to be calling this at 7-1 flat. Nope, actually Dan says, I'm not going quietly into this good night, but he does fall instead, making that 8-1 with 5 seconds remaining. 8-1 will be the final score in the